chat. Here we go. We got ourselves a debut show match from King Caard against Rezears. We're watching from Rezears' perspective right now. But this is King Caard, a player from FURIA who has recently moved to North America. I believe FURIA is camped out in Texas right now, playing in the North American RLCS. And one of the benefits of bringing these top players to the USC servers is that they can Q1s and show just how good they are. Thank you, Caard, for popping off while I try and introduce you. He's going to go for an air dribble reset to push it past Rezears and get the first goal of the game. But Caard has grinded his way all the way to number 5 in the world and number 2 in North America. And the person who's number 1 in North America is also the person who's number 1 global, which is actually his teammate, Yan. His teammate, Yan, the only player rated higher than him in North America right now. So he's definitely been looking good in 1v1. And we're going to put him to the test against Rezears. Now, playing against Rezears would be about as tough a test as you can. Oh my goodness, Rezears! Rezears is playing on US East, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to double reset. A double off the back wall. Oh my. This is going to be a great match. If this is what we're going to get out of these two guys for the rest of the series, oh my goodness. Did I pick a good one? But as I was saying, Rezears is playing at a disadvantage. He's playing on US East. He has about 110 ping here, playing from Germany on these servers. But he's not showing that to be an issue in his offense so far after throwing that nasty shot on. He has admitted that he's not really focused on ones anymore. His team, Tundra, did really well in the RLCS this last week, making top 8 before they fell to, I believe it was K-Corp, right, was the team that Tundra played. And K-Corp ended up getting second in the whole event. So K-Corp looking solid. Not a poor performance by any means to be in the top 8 and eliminated by them. So hopefully we'll see more from Tundra in the future. And we've always been expecting Rezears to have that pop-up in threes. And it's finally come time for it. Caard, on the other hand, is doing it in reverse. He is popping off in threes long before he's joining the ones show match and ones ranked grind meta. But he is doing well in that, at least in the ranked. We aren't sure how he does in show matches just yet. I have a feeling he's probably played a few in the South American scene. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the South American scene that I'm maybe not as cued into, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was not anywhere close to his first show match. Maybe he's played a ton of ones there, but it is the first English-speaking show match that I'm aware of. So hopefully it'll be a good one. Rezears is going to bump Caard out of the way to get the second goal, despite the insane offense from both of them, meaning, you know, the style of goals that they got. It has been a fairly slow start to the game, as a lot of midfield play has resulted in changes of possession, but not quite goals. And Caard is actually going to erase the slight lead that Rezears was able to gain with a physical play. Immediate kickoff. And now Caard staying aggressive, at least for a moment, to buy himself a bit of time after this neutral kickoff. Rezears flick, going to be able to steal the boost. Probably not going to be able to hold on to the ball for very long. And Caard actually isn't very starved. It didn't cost him much boost to make that save. And he sees Rezears on the other side of this ball. Rezears is trying to... Wait a second. He was trying to kind of dodge around and make Caard think, but because he was so far wide of the ball, it was really no issue for Caard to not panic there. But Caard's air dribble bump setup was very poor. I mean, he launched that ball way above the crossbar. Never stood a chance. Rezears did. Or sorry, he never stood a chance in scoring. Everything's happening so fast. The past few plays have just been back and forth. Caard did a great outplay in the air and accelerated as soon as he saw the pre-jump from Rezears to go over the top of him and finish it off with a double. The offense has been great, and the play has been quick enough that it's impossible to keep up with verbally. Rezears now off the side wall. Interesting 50, landing onto the ground and front flipping into the ball, but upside down in order to try and win that one. His recovery should have been weak because he doesn't land with wheels on the ground, but he did a good enough job. Caard got Rezears to miss, but at the cost of being able to find an angle into the net. Rezears, great reset. The wave dash into the chip is just barely wide, but it's good enough to continue to play keep away with Caard as he sets up yet another dribble at the midfield. Caard, the close shadow, is going to pinch this ball off the back wall instead of letting it come down to the ground. And that's probably a mistouch by Rezears right there. Needed to get a much better first touch after caard's clear in order to continue to threaten, but instead he launched it to the back wall where caard can take control, and now caard is in the sky. His reset is going to get faked and go low. Great threaten the whole way, and good read of what Rezears was doing on the back wall, because he definitely set this up for a high shot if he wanted to, and that's why Rezears had to drive up the side wall. So caard does the next best option after that, which is to drop it low, take a 4-2 lead. Caard now quick off the air dribble. Actually tried to accelerate it. I think when he saw Rezears pre-jump, we saw that happen earlier. Rezears pre-jumping, caard trying to speed up the play. But credit to Rezears, who had actually pre-jumped at an angle expecting that. And now he's just been given a free ball with very little boost. This pickup is going to be really slow, so I'm actually surprised. I guess he could have chipped it. That's why caard went all the way back into net. And obviously threatening the in and out save was never the option. It's just such a slow play in ones. He needed to stay more in front of the goal. But he still has a lead with a minute left to go. Caard sees Rezears trying to shadow close and looks to lob the ball over the top of him. Rezears gets back for a double, but I think he's playing on very little boost. Only 12, but it's not going to matter. He still gets the tying goal. Just enough to make the play. You see caard shadowing so close because he feels like at any moment there's going to be an opportunity for him to take it away because he knows he has such a massive boost advantage. But as long as the player with only a couple pads plays every touch perfectly, they can usually escape their own half or maybe even score a goal depending on how greedy the defender is trying to be. Now Rezears again, this flick is just going to go past caard. Look at the acceleration. This is a huge play at the end of this game to give himself a lead with 24 seconds left to go. It's another close shadow deep in the far right corner for caard. This time he doesn't even have the boost advantage though, and still felt like he could put that kind of pressure on, which it's going to have to end with a play on the ball if you want to get that deep into their half. You can't just turn shadow and expect to be able to get away with doing that with zero boost. It's actually a kind of a neat outplay by caard to side flip it towards the wall in order to get Rezears to miss. And now he's got a potential full field dribble. Rezears is going to try and cut it off right away. Smart move. With a lot more time on the clock, I think what Rezears did might have been a mistake, but knowing that this will be caard's last opportunity, if he can't keep it up, it is a good play. And Rezears will still get the Game 1 win despite playing on US East against the King caard. Game number 2. Rezears and caard. Caard asking me whether it's a 7 or 5 best of. And by default, if we never say, it's usually agreed upon between the players that it is just best of 5. Unless, of course, caard wanted to do more. But he DM'd me personally, almost as if it was a secret, what best of that it was. So I'll just tell him that it's 5. Since that's what I'm assuming Rezears was expecting as well. Caard, his front flip saved off the kickoff, and now he's going to have to retreat with very little boost. He's able to pick up 100 in the corner, and Rezears doesn't get that second reset that maybe he was hoping for. Caard needs to cut and look for a post. Oh my goodness, Rezears, what is this retreat? I was thinking it was going to be a tough time for caard to get the ball to the other post without Rezears stopping it, but Rezears just offered up the entire net. He just left the play to go get boost. And I'm not sure if there was any option that caard could have picked that wouldn't have scored. So I don't know what Rezears' plan was. Caard off the wall. Awkwardly grabs the reset and ends up having to bail on the play. Now, corner dribble. Rezears is there. Caard didn't like the setup, so he bails off. At least a decent amount of boost. Rezears is playing in rhythm, refusing to slow the ball down. He's just trying to take the best possible option with the current bounce, and it has resulted in a bit of a weak attack. Will he be able to stay on top of this ball? Caard is trying to bait him in. This front flip does push Rezears all the way into net, and then a slot top left is going to be good enough for a third. Rezears was definitely getting greedy there, trying to bait that backflip challenge. And caard got enough pop on it to scare or really just force Rezears all the way into a really tough position in net. Caard now resetting to the ceiling. Rezears is going to fake challenge in the air and brings Caard down to the ground. But Caard is quicker to pop it back up than Rezears is to challenge. He went pretty deep and then did not rush his return to the ground at all here. I would say took it about as slow as he could have without actually driving down the curb. Rezears trying to make this a kickoff win for himself after Caard able to gain control of the boost and actually just evaded the bump there cleverly. It might have slowed down his momentum, but it was worth it to get a slight movement away from where Rezears was coming. That was a really smart play by Caard. A lot of players would fall too in love with a nice clean landing where they keep all their speed. Caard recognized using a ton of boost to just move, you know, perpendicular to his momentum was worth it to dodge the demo, and then he could just worry about the speed later. This is a great reset catch. Now Rezears has to try and get this ball on top of his car. Caard is not going to let him do so, dunking him immediately, but now it's going to be forced off the ball as Rezears comes into the air. Not sure what he was hoping to do. Maybe a bit of a fake musty as Rezears turns upside down, and then he didn't come back in time to land on his wheels, so he just turtles, and Caard can take it away easily. Caard, nice outplay, 6-0. He has got Rezears figured out here in this game number 2. Neither one of these guys taking to the skies as much as they did to start the game in game number 1. Both of them putting on clips right away. It's been a lot more grounded as the series has gone on. Caard, a nice dive. He has been winning these kickoff situations. And wow, that's actually a great save from Rezears, who got his boost stolen and almost got exposed. Now, can he turn this into something? This is one of his better attacks of this game number 2 so far. Caard pre-jumped it, went all the way to the ceiling, and then still intercepted with the ball. Credit to Caard for stopping that aerial play. That's a very high-risk defensive maneuver, and Caard did it with ease. Now he's got an air dribble of his own. The reset off the backboard is going to put him in a really tough spot. Luckily, bounced far into the corner instead of back out to his half. Rezears, nice dunk. I'm not sure if this is what he meant to do on the initial setup, but once he pushed the ball as far away from his car as he did, his best option was to just dunk whatever save attempt Caard made. Winnable. Yeah, no, it definitely is winnable. I think with 2 minutes left to go, 6 goals, it is certainly winnable for Rezears. Just needs to clean up his act here for the final moments. He's got Caard stuck in his back half again. I say stuck, but Caard doesn't want to make it that way. Even though he doesn't have any boost, he is pressuring on the ball. He is still ultimately stuck, though. It was just a temporary solution he had. Nice shot by Rezears. Air rolling around this ball and waiting till the final moments before taking the shot in order to get Caard up in the air and defending the wrong position. Great shot by Rezears. Minute 30. I think he's on pace. He's gotten the last couple goals in 20 or so seconds, I feel like. So he could work his way back in. Rezears closing the distance on Caard's dribble to force him to flick early. Now trying to gain control of the ball and have some boost to spare. He actually got a slight bump on Caard. And this is going to turn into a much better possession than it would have been otherwise. He's able to grab his back corner boost, and he's going to fall from the ceiling. Cost him everything he has just to stay with this ball. He finishes with a musty, and he's just done a great job of playing speedy and playing keep away. Just has to convert it a few more times into goals. This is a great setup. All the boost in the world this time around. He didn't have to use all 100 just to get the ball there. This time it only took a single touch, and the reset is able to push it past Caard coming off the back wall. So Rezears closing the distance slowly. 48 seconds, fake kickoff for Rezears. We saw Caard do this earlier. I think this is only the second fake kickoff of the series so far, and Caard hid well behind the ball. He actually slammed it so hard, there's not going to be a scoring opportunity. Rezears, he is forced to be aggressive here. Caard cannot fake this forever without Rezears challenging because Rezears has no choice. Look at this double! Caard can't save it! Oh my goodness, Rezears exploding out of the midfield after he sees Caard go for the double fake. Caard is forced back into his half for sure. And one of the best ways to score on the retreat is to just slam that ball at the back wall and go and double it in. Caard got a touch, but not enough. 26 seconds. I think we saw 6 straight for Caard. Rezears is going to have to make it 6 straight, likely for himself if he wants to tie it up. I don't think he can afford to let Caard score here. Got his reset from the ceiling, but doesn't use it ever. He's playing so passive, and he got just enough on Rezears. Even if he didn't touch him before the shot, he definitely affected Rezears' shot, who adjusted based on Caard's positioning. Rezears just got a ceiling reset. He needs to get this to the net right now, and he did! He got it there with a second to spare. Caard trying to pressure him as high up as possible, but Rezears actually pushing the ball down with that ceiling touch and making it so Caard couldn't get back to it. If Rezears somehow finds a way to tie this game up, Caard, you've got to fake or delay or something, right? He pops it up. Rezears has it. No, that's it. It's going to hit the ground. It was going to be really hard, but hey, credit to Rezears, who almost pulled it back. It was a 1-goal win ultimately for Caard after an amazing start. But the series will be tied up 1-1. Will game number 3 continue the momentum that Rezears had at the end of game number 2? We'll have to see. A 5-0 run for him after Caard's 6-0 run. So Rezears probably feels fairly good about where he's at despite having a game loss in the most recent game. Caard's got enough boost to work with. He doesn't even need to go back. Yeah, just needs to shoot this long shot. Couldn't get it off the wall enough for it to be a goal, though. Rezears actually electing to chase Caard down here instead of pick up midfield boost, which is an interesting decision. He's able to steal the back corner, though, so not a bad position to play in. Now this shot is guaranteed to be off the back wall. The kind of speed that Rezears needed to hit it with to make sure Caard couldn't affect it was also the kind of speed that was going to guarantee it was too high. Caard trying to lob this ball out of dangerous way. Great patience on the goal line save as Rezears tried to catch him out by meeting the ball early, which resulted in a soft shot. Now Caard, air dribble bump. That'll be a first goal. If Caard has ever played his teammate Yan, he knows how effective the air dribble bump can be. But I haven't seen either one of these guys using it too much. Caard's going to break it open with the first one. Rezears, demo, the back corner. Needs to rush this to net as soon as possible, and he's taken the long way around with a double reset. Caard pulling off the ball there as Rezears makes a play at the midfield. He knew he didn't have the kind of boost to challenge and be able to recover from it, but he actually just convinced Rezears to pop the ball to himself as a pass, which is just a really great fake challenge from Caard. Tons to gain from it and not much to lose because he's never going to challenge there, but if he can convince Rezears that he might, then he just might get a free goal like he did. Rezears steals this dribble away, and the slight bump on Caard will be enough. Wasn't a demo, but threw Caard off of his recovery. Made for an easy goal. Caard given a ton of space here with a bounce. Decides to take it into an air dribble and really shoots it on the back wall. He's going to get credited with the shot, but it never really felt like it had a chance of going in. Rezears is going to get pre-jumped on his short pop. Cannot get control of the ball in time to prevent Caard's shot here, who is going to just go for an early play out of the air. Saw his opportunity after the challenge to score, and Rezears, a turtle recovery, was never going to get back. But even if he didn't land turtle, I don't know if he had a chance. Great placement from Caard. Bit of a risk from him. You have to be sure that you're going to win that race, because if you're going up with 14 boosts to go to basically double jump height to take a shot on the back wall, if that gets saved, you're getting scored on. You just used up all your boosts. You put yourself out of position. The save is going to be with momentum, so you have to be sure that you're winning that race, and Caard was. So now he's got a 3-1 lead. Rezears reset near the ceiling. Musty. Oh my goodness. Crossbar and out instead of crossbar and in. Now caard once again going for a double off the back wall. Another all-in type play if Rezears is somehow able to read the save. Look at his camera checks. He definitely could have gone up to meet this ball, but he just thought that caard would leave. He didn't think that that angle was one that caard was willing to risk, because if Rezears does go up, I think it's not only is it not that hard of a save, but it's a really good spot for Rezears as they head back to the blue half. But caard is calling the bluff, calling the play that Rezears is not going to go up. The reason why Rezears is doing that is, of course, that's a great reset. The reason why Rezears is doing that is because if caard backs off, it's better for him to let the ball bounce and then take it for a dribble, which is what Rezears was hoping to do. So trying to get more than he could afford. Got him scored on, and then caard just getting a nice reset in the air to get a fifth. He has immediately taken back control of the game despite Rezears' huge run to end game number 2. Make it 6-1 for caard. Can we try one EU after this? He's having a tough time with the ping. We'll see if caard is willing. Rezears. Nice dunk. Try to get a quick long shot. He is just going to read caard as caard pops the ball right away. Rezears needed a strong shot. Instead, just dribbles this into the corner. Still in control of this one. Surprised he didn't maybe try and take caard off the map there. He does prioritize possession of the ball. And now bounce dribble. Faking high, then catching it and flicking it over the top. Caard forced to watch the whole way. Is the comeback starting once again? Might be a bit late with 1:20 left to go. 4 goals, but the kind of momentum that he had certainly could have done it. Looks like these guys are probably, if I had to guess, going to finish the series on EU, assuming we can get a decent EU server. Because that'll be 3 games on US East for caard, and then 2 to finish for Rezears, who is going to intercept this one. Caard maybe trying to power shot it in order to get Rezears out of position, but he recognizes early, gets the save, and now, with 1 minute left to go, he needs only 3, and he's currently on pace. Rezears forced, I think, to stay on this ball despite low boost to find a way through. Caard not likely to bring the ball to him, but will take it through the air. Actually going for a double reset. Here I am talking about caard likely to play it safe. No, he's not going to play it safe at all. He's going to take to the skies. He's going to go for a double reset in a crucial moment in the game. He's not backing down as the clock winds down with a 3-goal lead. He wants to make it a 4-goal lead. Rezears. Kickoff win, but caard recovers to make the save. And now caard needs to get as soft a touch on this as possible so that he can follow it up. But even with that, still Rezears first to connect with it. 20 seconds left to go. Probably a game win for caard. We're going to try and go over to EU. If you guys have forgotten, the series so far has been played on US East, which I'll just show the ping right now. It feels like a decent time. Caard 32 and Rezears 112. So definitely a huge advantage for caard ping-wise. Rezears is borderline trying to win KV1 style, which, as we know, KV1 is the only player who's seemed to be able to even sort of deal with 120 plus. Some of the Middle East guys have played with about 100, but I don't even the Middle East guys never go up to 110. They usually have low hundreds, I would say, if not 90s. So we're going to try EU. Caard up 2-1. All right, chat, we're over here on EU now. Caard with 130 ping to Rezears' 40. So when I set up the game, I admittedly assumed the whole thing would have to be on US East because I knew caard would get worse ping than Rezears did if he were to play on EU. But to be fair, maybe caard has had a bit of training on this level of ping because he did play in SAM, and I assume queued USD servers quite frequently when he lived there. I don't know if he queued it in 1v1 or not. But now he's going to have to try and beat Rezears on 128, which is not going to be easy. Rezears gets to be on 32. What was Rezears' ping on NA? It was 30, whatever. It was, you know, under 50 is barely worth mentioning, whether it's 18 or 50. It's not terribly different. Rezears is going to score first after the shot off the post bounces right back in front of the net. Caard was already rushing to the corner boost. He thought that the ball was wide. If it was, then the most important next play was which one of them was going to grab the corner boost. But Rezears maybe had a better read that it was off the post, and instead just slots his first goal. Caard is going to be able to counter and immediately tie it up. If Caard can win his first game on EU, then it will be the end of the series. So it's not necessarily fair. Normally, if we're going to do two different servers, we either like to do matched games, or I like to give the 2 games to the player first, so that the last player can have 3. So they, even though they might be down momentum-wise, they get 1 extra game on their server. That's not how this one worked out. 3 for Caard on US East, and now Rezears has to try and come back with 2 on EU. Caard going to challenge early with 20 boosts coming off the wall. Never was going to be a better opportunity. Rezears, maybe if he had recognized that, might have tried to flick earlier. Caard not going to get back to this one. He knew he had made a mistake as soon as he looked to intercept this ball, and he just got 2 underneath it. He wanted to clear it into Rezears' corner. If he gets just a little bit more behind it with the contact on the ball, then it would push to the orange half, and he'd be just fine. But when he just slams it directly up, he knows that that's a mistake, and even the immediate recovery is not enough to prevent him getting scored on. Rezears through the air. Caard able to tackle him, and a great first touch. Almost made it possible to capitalize on an immediate goal. He needed to cut it towards the net, but as soft as possible so that he could follow it up as soon as he could. But he just pushed it just far enough away that Rezears is able to get back and prevent the shot. Now Rezears, very speedy dribble all the way down the field. Caard gets a save, and not only that, it should be a great save for a solid counter. The shot from the wall is pushed onto the back wall. Rezears, great recovery there. I felt like that was going to be a tough one for Rezears to get back to after Caard was able to get such a solid save. Caard looking to escape from this corner at max speed, and one of the benefits of playing a dribble as fast as he did is if you happen to run into the other player, you're just going to double them off the map. That is one of the few things that's nice about playing that fast, because normally it's hard to stay in control and make outplays at max speed. Caard able to use this kickoff to steal the back corner boost and the midfield. Rezears not backing down from the play, even though he doesn't connect with the ball at all. He does launch Caard into the blue half, but is it enough to keep him from getting scored on? It is not. Great power on the flick. Caard prioritizing speed and power here with his first touch to make sure Rezears does not get anything, knowing that if the first one doesn't go in, there's a good chance he'll be able to follow it up. Imagine saving that on 130 ping. Yeah, was quite the save from Caard, who has actually exploded out of the midfield past Rezears to steal that midfield boost from him. Rezears did a decent job, though, of recovering into his corner and getting 100 of his own. Caard now feathering boost to escape the pressure from Rezears, who just dove into the corner, and you could see Caard saw his opportunity, tried to find a way to get it, and in the process of catching and cutting, got himself destroyed. Now Rezears 50, and we'll roll it in for a third. Wonder if Caard really had a choice after the result of this challenge. 7 boost. I mean, maybe he tries to land and stays near the ball, but I think even then, Rezears is probably able to cut it around him. Minute 20. Kickoff win for Caard. These late kickoffs and late leads are so important, and caard's going to fake to get Rezears to miss. He set this one up on the near post too, where normally the near post ones are the easiest ones to save, but his fake is a really good one because you can see as he lands to the ground, he is threatening a shot all the way out to the center of the net that Rezears feels like he has to come off the wall to try and protect. And then caard can just slot it behind him. Minute left to go. Rezears up the side wall. Cannot stick with this one. Wow, what a catch. Wow, Rezears. That did not seem like a scoring opportunity until he landed so perfectly on the ball. Caard was just driving past it, did not realize what Rezears was going to be able to do as he catches and flicks it for tying the game. Caard losing this kickoff into his corner, but it's yet to be seen whether or not it's a real loss. Sears is trying to put pressure on him. Oh, and this might be his opportunity. Caard's actually saved 65 boosts, though, so he should be able to handle anything Sears is going to do. Caard, he has found himself diving a bit too deep in this corner a few different times before. He's able to back off this one. Rezears cuts off net as a way to try and keep possession. It doesn't even seem like that's going to happen. Caard is saving all 45 of his boost. He knows that every bit is important as Rezears looks to try and starve him out in net. He's not going to challenge this early, but it does force Rezears to pop the ball high, and Rezears just got rid of it. That was a weak finish. Caard able to undercut him, and I think Caard is probably just going to let this touch the ground. Yeah, I don't think he's really trying to score with 0 boost on the side wall. The best case for him is to get another kickoff, and here he is. At said kickoff, Rezears is going to delay it. And is there an immediate shot? Caard's recovery doesn't look great, but Rezears' setup as a pass to himself is not the best setup at all. It rolls up the side wall. Takes a while to be shootable. So Caard is going to be in net with 40 as Rezears attacks through the air. The reset over the top of Caard and the game win to force a game 5, which I assume will probably stay on EU for it, since this one seemed close enough. Great finish from Rezears. Caard had enough boost to make a save. It's just a good enough play that it didn't matter. Game number 5, we're going to be back on US East. Rezears with 116 ping. He has calculated that he needs exactly 1 EU game to win the series. So he has offered going back to US East to Caard, who has accepted. And we'll see if he can do it, or if Caard will win the next US East game as well. How do you get the number next to your name? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Wave dash kickoff from both these two. Caard able to play the ball and actually steal the 100 in the corner. So both of them have 100 now. Caard faking. Probably recognizing he didn't really have a great angle there. So faking slash prepping for a challenge if Rezears were to come, but Rezears never did. Now, double reset setup from Rezears. Too much separation on the second one. Caard can intercept, and he cannot get a goal, though. He'll get a demo, so it probably wouldn't have been a goal. He can find this angle, which he does. Wow, it's actually a great drop down from Caard. Just too much separation on Rezears' double reset. There's a world in which Rezears gets a save if Caard doesn't give it that good of an angle. Caard, wall to air dribble. First touch on the wall, not great. Has to correct it with his second, but he gets Rezears to miss so wide that it ends up being a goal anyways. I would argue that the setup wasn't the best for him, but the way Rezears decided to challenge it meant it worked out. Rezears, no instant kickoff goal. Caard manages to not fall into net as well. Such a crucial part of making a save in ones. If you can, you want to stay on the playing field instead of inside your net. Caard just barely able to do that. Caard was hoping that Rezears was about to pass him the ball. If he had cut that ball in front of the net, it'd have been an instant Caard goal, but Rezears recognized that. A little fake challenge on the ceiling and then just come to the ground to send this one away. How can caard find a way to score this? He actually tried to flip it over the top of Rezears, who read that with the pre-jump. This is a crazy pre-jump by Rezears, who has noticed that caard keeps playing over the top of him. So what does he do? He aims high, and then he used his second jump to push himself even higher right as he came to the ball when caard was going to try and shoot it over the top of him. He's able to tap it off the ceiling back to himself. And now he's got himself a tie game. Make it maybe a lead here as he is able to come out on top of this scuffle off the kickoff. A nice reverse catch. Gives him just enough space. Caard was looking to tap the ball up to a bounce that he could protect, but he could not protect that one. Caard, wave dash kickoff is going to win him the race to both the boost and the ball. Rezears pre-jumped the touch on the wall that never came. Caard wasn't able to immediately punish, but he's still in a great position because of it. A bit too strong of a touch into the corner, such that he had a hard time getting around it to shoot the tight angle shot. If he gets it a little bit softer, he will win that race as Rezears comes to take it away from him. Caard, this is a really interesting setup. Was this not just a free goal if he just prioritized getting around the ball right away? It seemed like he took his sweet time when he could have just taken a quick shot. I don't think Rezears, no matter where he spawned, would have been able to get the save. But obviously caard had a different read than I did. He felt like the quick shot might have been saved, and he needed to wait to see where Rezears was going to spawn. Rezears trying to take it away. Caard, with tons of space now, will start a dribble from all the way outside his own net. That reset actually places the ball really well. And now he's got Rezears stuck in net, and the flick over the top of him is perfect height to both make Rezears miss and fall underneath the crossbar. Rezears recovering in reverse, never great. He tried to make his car as tall as possible, and it still didn't matter. Caard given the opportunity to catch this ball as it falls high from the ceiling. Not something that one's players often give the opposition. Normally, a ball that's taken this long to get to the ground is challenged before it can get there. Rezears decides to play a bit more passive, and his first save is not good enough to prevent caard from finding the top right on the second. Oh, caard. Gotta imagine you meant to pick up that boost unless you were trying to bait Rezears in, which would have been the most five-head play of all time. Get Rezears to dive in too deep and still beat him there. A minute 35, and Rezears looking like he's about to get a possession and a boost advantage. Will he be able to convert it for a goal? He's from the ceiling. The musty, he will. Caard throws the nice shot right away, because it is a nice shot indeed. Rezears balls from the ceiling and accelerates the ball 119 kilometers per hour. Caard knew he never stood a chance. Minute 22. Rezears trying to get the calculated win, where he goes to EU for only one game to play the least amount of EU games possible while still winning. Can he do it, or will caard take advantage of the 4 US East games? Power shot from the midfield. It's just over the top. I thought Rezears was there. It was a really strong shot, so credit to caard, but still, Rezears seemed ready for it. And watching from his perspective, ooh, he just barely couldn't get there. Great shot from caard. Goal lead for him with a minute left to go. Rezears trying to pop this up to the side wall to prep himself for some offense. He's going to take it off the bounce. He got caard to go back down to the ground, but caard went back down to the ground for a good reason, because Rezears was too high to really make any sort of shot attempt that caard needed to be worried about. Caard now set up from the side wall. He sees Rezears on the ceiling, decides to take it into the bounce, and now an air dribble pump potentially. No, he actually tries to pop the ball over the top of Rezears instead of bumping him out of the way. 30 seconds left to go. Caard, not a very convincing fake challenge, as he only barely 90-degree turns. Rezears pops it over the crossbar, and the passive defensive play from caard is working out by just being a threat strong enough to make Rezears just miss his shots because he's had a couple different plays where he got past caard but couldn't quite finish it off. He's got 2 seconds left to go. He has to chip this ball up. He chips it up just in time. Has the dribble. The first flick is going to be easily touched to the ground. He needed to hold on to the ball longer than that. So caard will win the series. 4 of them played on US East. He wins 3 of them as he takes the best of 5.